right, guys, and welcome to the High School E-League. We got two teams here, Northern Adelaide Seniors College Squatches versus Portside Christian College. I'm joined by my color-caster here, Prot.
Hey guys, I'm Jackson Prot Williams. We're here with the amazing Benjamin Tico Lee, and we are here with the High School E-League, ready for, I believe this is week 4, is it not?
Yep, it is week 4 of the High School E-League. We've been doing this for 4 weeks, and it's been pretty amazing, to be honest. We've been able to cast high school teams from around Australia to be able to watch these guys play against each other, giving them the opportunity to be on Twitch stream. And, I mean, this is a pretty big tournament as well.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely massive. Teams from all across the country have decided to join this from different schools, and it's been an absolute blast. We've seen some songs, we've seen some close games, and it's been absolutely amazing how these teams have interacted, how these teams have played, the strategies that we've seen. Some people look new to the game, some people look like veterans, and we have definitely seen some amazing coordination from all the people that are involved in the back end of this, organizing these tournaments.
Yeah, and we just want to thank HSEL. We want to thank Adelaide for setting up this, for making sure that this is possible for these youngsters, for the boys and girls in high school to be able to do this.
Yep. So we are about to start the match and the picks and bans. So hopefully we won't see another Clutch Gaming versus Echo Fox like we did just the other day with the Talia and Karthus with Smite crashing the game.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward there. But, yeah, 2 crashes happened. I think there was 1 in Korea as well. But we're going to head straight into the game, and we're going to go for the first bans over here. Now, Northern Adelaide Seniors College, they're going to have first ban, and that is going to be the Greys.
Yep. So Greys, really strong, really good aggressive jungler, really good in the early to mid game and even decent damage late, can absolutely snowball a game. And with how long these games are going, 20 to 30 minutes is between that is average game time. Games are done before 30 minutes. Greys is going to be so strong.
And one of the last remaining meta AD carries right now, Kaisa has been taken away.
And Tico, as an AD carry main, you would know how painful it is to see the AD carry position, how it is.
It hurts so much. I used to play Kaisa. I used to play Ezreal quite a bit, but now I've switched over to the on-hit champions more like Varus. But we do have 2 more bans coming out. Darius on the top lane and Brand flex pick.
So Brand's a very good flex pick for both the mid and also the bot. We've seen him be like the bot lane Brand, so the AD carry Brand, or a support Brand, or even a mid Brand. So he can be flexed over 3 roles. And with the Darius ban, that's lane bully out of the top lane.
And they've taken away the Pyke as well. Now that Pyke has been out for 3 weeks, HSEL has this rule where you can't pick a champion if they've come out within the last 2 weeks. So Pyke's been out for 3 weeks. He's going to be able to be picked, but they've banned it instead. Victor as well has been banned.
Yep. So Victor, really good wave clear, but Victor's still in a really weak state right now where he actually has to get his hex core items up and running. But we do see, this might just be a boosting strat that we see coming in.
My gosh, Portside Christian College, they have picked the Master E. Not to mention, we do have the NAR pickup by the Northern Adelaide Seniors College as well. So that's top lane lock-in, Master E. This is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, so just a reminder, guys, we are on patch 8.12, so we haven't seen the AD carry changes that might bring AD carries back into the meta. But of course, we are seeing the Nasus top. But of course, thanks with the Master Yi. So what is this boosting strategy we've seen with the Taric lately, Tico?
Okay, so Master Yi goes in the jungle. Taric goes in the mid lane. Taric gives all his CS to Master Yi so that Master Yi is able to stay ahead. Taric's got all the healing, all the shielding to keep Master Yi alive as well when he decides to go in. We're not seeing any of that yet. So we're going to focus on what we do see. We have the Thresh, Irelia, and the Jinx.
So Thresh, Irelia, and Jinx. So with the Thresh is really lane dominant. You got Gnar, which is good early to mid, and a really good lane bully. And with the Irelia, just really good at all stages of the game. However, if you look at the side from Portside Christian College, the Yi, Nasus, and Jinx, they've got a massive scaling team comp. The NASA's going to be able to stack his Q indefinitely, that Cycling Strike. Got the Jinx, one of the best hyper carries for ADC position, but you do give up a lot of your laning phase. And the Master Yi late game, if you can't see him, he just shreds your entire team.
Yeah, he does, and they banned away Tarek, so that's one boosting strat gone. But there's so many more, isn't there? Master Yi, he's a flexible boosting strat sort of pick. You know, you can go KO Master Yi. That was a thing back like last season or the season before.
I think it was a few years ago. Yeah, about 2 years ago, Master Yi and KO were an absolute menace in some cases.
Yeah, but we do have a Sona lock-in with the Jinx down bot lane.
So one of the things that they are going to have to do with the mid position, because they don't really have any massive tank frontline that is going to win the team aside from the Nasus, and Nasus wants to be split pushing. So they need to find a mid laner who can be a bit of a front line, maybe like a Galio or maybe a Ryze that builds a bit of more of a bruiser style, to try and act as that front line to peel for this Jinx, who is the hyper carry. So these two massive damage dealers, Yi and Jinx. So your mid laner either needs to go would actually be pretty good on like a Sion or a Gnar or somebody that can just hold that mid lane, and then it looks like it's a Ziggs though.
Oh, okay. So it looks like we do have a Ziggs in the mid lane. We have they were swapping. I thought Gragas wasn't going to go in the jungle, but we do see Gragas in the jungle, Thresh down bot lane, Aurelia up top. Oh wait, no, hold on.
It looks like we do have the standard bruiser bot lane that's been part of this meta. We have the Aurelia on Rhaegar on the Aurelia in the bot lane. So one of the things that has happened is because all the ADCs were collectively nerfed, and all but a few ADCs were actually considered strong, which were Ezreal, Lucian, and Kai'Sa. Ezreal, by the way, got through all picks and bans without being picked. What they have decided to go for the Aurelia Thresh bot lane, a really strong bruisery bot lane. Aurelia can take the Relic Shield. Thresh is usually good on Relic Shield. That way they share a lot more gold, and they have a lot of sustain. But it does appear that let's hope they've lined up. They haven't lined it up properly on Portside, so we aren't completely sure. But I do believe they are up against a Jinx Sona in the bot lane. Now, one of the big issues with Jinx is Jinx doesn't have a lot of lane presence. Like, what is your personal experience of how Jinx works in lane?
Well, I used to play, I'm level Mastery 7 Jinx, and I know my fellow casters are as well. Shout out to Ethos. But, I mean, Jinx can't come online until third item. So, I mean, she's not going to have any lane presence or little lane presence. She might be able to shove the wave a little bit with her rockets, but unfortunately, she just can't trade with an Aurelia and a Thresh. Now, I mean, she's got Sona on her side. Sona's going to have to do the poking for her.
And Sona's one of those champions that is really good in the early laning phase, has good sustain, good poke. And then if Sona gets ahead, has a lot of damage as the game goes on. One of the big issues with Sona is that if Sona doesn't get ahead, she's a very squishy champion. So if she doesn't have the poke to be able to poke you out before you go in on her, hence Aurelia and Thresh and even Gnar and even Gragas, who have amazing all-ins, it's going to be very hard for the Sona to have an impact in the game, except in the backline where she's going to be relegated to more of a heal bot kind of playstyle. However, this Ziggs though has between Ziggs, Sona, and even Jinx to a certain extent, they do have some decent poke calm the mid game. So when these when they go for the 1-4, they've got decent sieging with the Nasus split pushing and potentially even a Master Yi split pushing. So they could go for an amazing 1-3-1, which as long as the Nasus doesn't fall too far behind, the Nasus should beat the Gnar, and the Master Yi should be able to beat the Aurelia if it comes to a matter of scaling. So it's a question of how they can go about this, and without like a proper AD carry on the side of the Northern Adelaide Senior College Squatches, it's going to be very difficult for them to be able to like find those elongated team fights and be able to get output the damage they need to, except in that initial burst they have with the Gnar, Lux, and Gragas kind of combo.
Yeah, Northern Adelaide, look, as you said before, they have quite a bruisery front line. Thresh, he's going to be able to pick him out. If he does pick him out, this is going to be very dangerous. It's not a position you want to be picked in. If Nasus is split pushing, that's going to be a couple seconds before his teleport completes, if he has it up. If Master Yi is split pushing as well, that's going to be a problem because he doesn't have any He's not able to go between the lanes as quickly as a teleport could or a Predator Quinn. But we do have... They are very squishy. They have a Sona, a Jinx, a Ziggs. Must-see can be squishy if he gets caught as well. So this is a very do-or-die sort of team comp coming out from Portside Christian College. Compare that to Northern Adelaide. They can take quite a bit, so they will be looking to siege.
Indeed. And like, if anyone understands lane pressure, it would be you, Tico. Because as Tico was mentioning before, Predator Quinn is actually a specific style that he plays. So the whole idea of this Predator Quinn is you get ahead in the lane, and then you always apply pressure. So the issue is you don't split push fast compared to champs like Yorick or Nasus, but it's more the fact that you can push the wave in, then you roll into another wave, push that wave in. So you're consistently split pushing, and there's no way that people can actually like keep up with where you are at. They're always playing catch up, and you're always getting bits and pieces on their tower. You're just chipping them down bit by bit, and it gets to a point where they can't answer your pressure, and so it's an auto lose from them. So yeah, it makes a valid point where it's going to be a question of can Northern Adelaide force the engage, which they can't, which they might be able to do with amazing engage potential from Thresh, Gragas, Gnar, even Lux and Aurelia to a certain extent. But it's or will like the Sona and Ziggs be able to like disengage properly and allow for the split push power from the Master Yi and the Nasus just to be able to apply too much pressure to sideways for them to match.
Yeah, and Nasus, he gets huge at 2 items. Like, so with the Triforce and the Glacial Shroud, he's going to be able to dish out a lot of damage, being able to split push, as well as the Wither. It's going to be tough to get away from him.
Yeah, and Gnar, when he's withered, all he's got to fall back on is the Frozen Mallet, which a lot of Gnars don't actually build anymore because it does less with ranged champions, and that jump is only a single jump. The Wither lasts for a long time, and if you have completed builds on Nasus, you're going to be able to catch up so fast at Gnar. And Gnar, in a 1v1 up close at 2 items, can't deal with the Nasus unless he's ahead. Even if he is ahead, it's going to be very difficult. However, the Gnar has gone for the Conqueror, so he has decided to go for more of a getting through the tank rather than like the sustain that you see or the airy that you see from Gnars. And he might be able to get those trade windows where he does that true damage and gets through the armor of the Nasus. However, it does mean that in the early points of the game without the airy, it's harder to get that harass except for in those elongated windows with the triple proc on your W. So it's all a question of how that top lane goes as to which way it swings. But the Gnar definitely has the advantage early, and the Nasus just wants to play it safe.
Oh, we do have a pause coming out, unfortunately. One of their players hasn't connected. But, look, with Conqueror Gnar, they really don't need any more frontline. I mean, Gnar, he can get tanky. He doesn't really need too much more tankiness because they have Gragas. They have Aurelia, who's a bruiser, who can sort of sub as a tank as well. And Thresh, I mean, he's not really tanky, he's more of a pick potential, but he does get a bit healthy towards the very late game.
Indeed. But the Thresh has decided to go for the Ancient Coin. It doesn't give as much tanky stats. It doesn't give as much tanky stats as the Relic Shield, but it's easier to get the stacks, easier to get the gold and the mana regen from the Ancient Coin than it is on the Relic Shield. Relic Shield, you have to like be very precise with it on Thresh because Thresh is a ranged champion. So since with the changes to Relic Shield, or with how Relic Shield works, it doesn't give you as much regen as it used to, and you also have to like hit it very precisely in last hit. So that can be very difficult for a Thresh who's not decently experienced at actually doing the last hits.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't get the sort of concept that Riot has sort of brought around ranged and melee champions, specifically Thresh and Rakan. I see Rakan as a melee champion, but unfortunately, Riot sees Rakan as a ranged champion.
Oh, the thing is with Rakan is that Rakan, how it works is he does have that shield passive on him, which scales with his ability power. So that's the entire point of him. He has the healing and the shielding that is already there, even with his Q and his Quill and his E. I keep forgetting the name of that ability.
Brandon.
No, that's a W. A battle dance. So it is the battle dance. We thank you to our production for letting us know. And so it's with Rakan, it's the whole idea of that he has this little bit of extra shielding and healing when he goes in, and then you also usually most of the time when you go in, you're actually CCing them, so you can keep them down, and they won't be able to hit you back. So it's like you are tanky enough to get in there and do the job you need to do, and then get out. And that's how Rakan works. And so it works well with outgoing relic shield and going like the ancient coin of the spell thieves instead. Those give you like more of the stats that you need.
Yeah, and we're looking a bit in chat. We see a bit of talk about Warframe. This is not the game you're playing. You're playing League. Let's get back into this. You're going for the high school E-League. So we do have Northern Adelaide, again, Northern Adelaide Seniors College Squashers versus Portside Christian College on the red side. Gragas is going to be able to clear that fairly quickly, but not as quickly as Yi, so he's going to have level advantage. One thing to note, Lux does have stopwatch.
So Lux is going with a stopwatch. I do believe it's 8 minutes when it's available. So it's not as strong as it used to be, where it used to be 5 minutes, and that used to be draw out games for so long. At the very start of the year, where the game was like very slow paced, whereas now it's complete opposite, where it's so short. We also look at this bot lane, as we saw before. Aurelia was actually getting quite a bit of harassed just for going in there for CS, and there's the advantage of the double range bot lane against this bruiser bot lane. So, and also one of the things that we always have to take into account is the fact that Gragas has a lot more ganking potential than the Yi. Is just go in there, do some damage, has to rely on the CC of the team, but it does look like he's trying to make a play down bot side.
He does have blue buff. He might be coming down, but unfortunately he is not. He knows that he's not in a position to take anything, especially against an Aurelia Thresh. He's just gonna have to back away from this one.
Indeed. And like with Gragas, as I was saying before, Gragas has so much better ganking potential. He has so much more CC, he has slows, he has a dash. So he's able to lock people down quite hard when he goes to those ganks. As opposed to a Yi who, like as I said before, relies on the CC. And if you look at the CC, the only CC he really has to work with is the Sona at level 6 with the ultimate. But it looks like there's an all-in.
Oh, they go for the stun. In comes a Flay. Yi is there though. Fax, he goes in on Hutch, but Hutch, he's just going to be able to tank that one up. Rhaegar, he's going to dash in on Fax. The Flay knocks 3 of them back. They're going to be able to back away from this one easily.
But then if you look, and that was a failed gank. No summoners were burnt, and it was literally just a Yi just showing where he was and taking time out of his clear. So he has actually not cleared his topside jungle, and the Gragas is actually catching up in, well, just in his clear, to be honest. After he gets this Gromp, he will actually be ahead of the Master Yi. So Master Yi is looking for, the Master Yi is looking for some kind of, is looking to get ahead, and this is not how. If that gank had worked, it would have been amazing, but unfortunately it did not. And you look at this bot lane, the Aurelia is actually up about 7 CS. That's a bit more than a wave right now, over the Jinx. And with that relic shield, it does mean that the Thresh is actually getting a lot of gold in his pocket, a lot more than he usually would. So it is definitely working advantageous towards towards Northern Adelaide Senior College.
Looking in this mid lane, we do see Lux is up in CS by a little bit. Now that she has gone past level 3, she's dishing out a bit more damage than Ziggs is right now. Looking up top lane though, a little bit of a brawl coming out. Grass prop coming out from Nasty, he's going to be able to just heal it back up with a Siphon Strike. He's just got a lot of lifesteal in this one.
Oh, exactly. And he has actually gone for the Ruby Crystal instead of a Doran's Shield or Doran's Ring. So he doesn't actually have as much sustain, but he has a lot more flat health. This does mean that it's going to be able to build into an item a lot easier, and he's just looking to get stacks right now. So he's actually ahead in CS after all this harass, and but he's only at 30 stacks at 5 minutes, which is definitely not where you want to be at this point. So it's for Nasus that is a little bit problematic because you want to be way ahead, and that's where all your damage comes from with your Siphoning Strike. But of course...
Oh, Hutch, he did land the hook. The stand lands as well as Ignite used. So is heal. Auto attack is going to be able to take him down as the flash gets used.
And there we have it. First blood. The Aurelia was able to pick up the flash and the Ignite burned from the Aurelia and Thresh respectively. But we do have the exhaust being burnt by the Sona, the flash, and the heal from the Jinx. So not only do they lose in the summoner trade, but first blood goes to Aurelia, and Aurelia now gets free lane, can shove in this massive wave under tower, and then get a free back off that with so much extra gold in their pocket. That leaves him with almost 1,000 gold up at 6 minutes. Now this is huge.
Yeah, and look what the toll has taken on Prying Square. He's back and got a Brawler's Gloves and a Cloth Armor.
And with how Brawler's Gloves work, Brawler's Gloves are, they cost 600 gold now just for 10% crit. It is such an expensive item now, and this early in the game where you don't really have a lot of stats, it's you're literally looking at 1 in every 10 autos is gonna crit, so you have no extra attack speed, you have no extra damage, you're just looking at maybe hopefully getting that lucky crit in those trades, which is gonna be very unreliable, so future trades are not gonna work out in their favor.
Hutch is very confident as he steps up beyond the minion wave, and he knows that they are dominating this lane. Looking at the CS, they're definitely dominating. Up in the top lane, there's a bit of a brawl. Sinky bolts, he gets ulted by Hydra, and Hydra, he's trying to go all in. But Sinky, he knows that he can dominate. He does have ulti up, low on mana though.
But if you look at that, the Nasus went and got the Phage. He rushed the Phage early, so it gives him extra base damage and health, and also gives him a bit more movement speed. It doesn't give him this cooldown reduction mana that the Sheen would give you, or the Spellblade, but it does give you, it is quite efficient to build out of that original Ruby Crystal. However, it does mean that the Nasus has actually been able to back twice now, and he is up about 8 CS, but he is down a teleport. So now the initiative is on the side of Northern Adelaide. They've got a 1,000. Oh, we are currently at 745, 746. Sorry guys, we do have a sync issue with development. We are currently seeking to rectify that. So we are 753, 754, 755, 756, 757, 8. Sweet, and we are resynced. Sorry about that, guys. So, as I was saying, we do have that gold lead on the side of Northern Adelaide, but the Nasus is doing well. He has a CS lead. He's actually like being able to stack decently now because he's got a free lane. But with the teleport advantage onto the Gnar.
Oh, Lucky going in for an all-in trade. Misses the binding as well. Bolt is trying to go all in here. He misses the bomb. The auto attack hits though.
And that was a nice little trade there. And of course in this mid lane, there is a small CS advantage towards the Lux. But of course, with 2 poke lanes and with the Lux being one of those champions that does fall off in regards to damage, this Lux needs to get ahead to be able to do all of that damage. But down in this bot lane, it looks like Hutch is just having his way. He walks up and is like, no, you ain't getting CS, and that's pretty much end of it. This is not a debate. This is a dictatorship. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, they are playing so passive right now, and that's really all they can do. Prying Squares, he can't do anything in this lane right now, and neither can SD4. They're a poke lane, they're double range, but unfortunately, they can't step up against the Thresh and Aurelia, and unfortunately, this is not turning in their favor right now. They're down 1,700 gold in both teams. Sinking Bolt, however, he's taking quite a bit of damage from a Hydra. He doesn't have enough mana for ulti, so he's just gonna have to back away from this. Maybe back from this one.
One of the things that I'm actually wondering about is, you look at the Ruby Crystal from the Nasus, what is he going to build into that? Is he going to go for a Spirit Visage, which would not be optimal? Or you'd think that he'd sit on that for a while as he builds into an armor item? Does look like there's a double blown flash from the supports as they tried to go for a Sneaky Dragon, but they were caught out. But it does look like, oh, there's a bit of counter juggling here from the Gragas, but of course,
Oh! The mid laner steals the red buff from the enemy jungler.
1 HP auto. That was insanity, and of course that is most exciting we've had this game. So I've been first blood at 10 minutes.
Unfortunately, Fax, your red buff has been taken by your AP mage mid laner. Use it to your full potential. Go Bolts.
It's for the regen and lane, so you're always gonna stay high in health. But of course, the Lux on the other hand has got the blue, which might be the more advantageous.
Fax does use Highlander. He goes in for the Alpha Strike as well. And he does use Stopwatch, so that's gonna be Stopwatch gone from Locky.
That looked like an interesting interaction with the ultimate. It did look like it didn't actually explode on the side of the graphics. It might be just like a little visual bug.
It's a visual bug that the spectator client usually has. Sometimes you won't be able to see the you won't be able to see I can't find the word.
Won't be able to see the actual
The
explosions.
sparkles.
Sparkles! Oh my god. So, we do have the NASA's currently seeing about 81 stacks at 11 minutes, which is a bit behind where he wants to be. At the 10-minute mark, you want to be about 150 stacks usually, which is really optimal. At the very least, 100 stacks by 10 minutes. So, it's a little bit problematic from the NASA. That might be due to his mana issues. He is actually going for another ruby crystal and another longsword. So, I'm not sure what the NASA is building into from here. Whether he's going for, I don't know, whether it might be going for a Starix gauge or
Possibly, but we do see Hydra going all in, stun ultimate, and he just walks away.
and of
Good
course,
combo.
we do have an issue right now because the Nara is actually not pushing the advantage, he's not getting enough harass. So he's actually, oh, does look like it's a bit of a fight of a dragon right now.
Fax goes in, Alpha Strike, good flame. In comes the box. The ultimate does secure as red team gets it. Ultimate doesn't land from Lux, but the good Gragas one does hit 2 of them. That's 3 kills going over to the side of Northern Adelaide. Nasus going in up top lane. He's gonna force Hydra to back away from that one. Flash being used by Hydra.
And that was a good dragon steal, but of course, that is 3 members down for the side of Portside. And of course, this is where the advantage is pushed. They're able to get onto that tower, but of course, they aren't actually able to, unless they can get this tower, there's not really much they can get aside from just chipping away at it. It does appear, though, that we have a 3,000 gold lead after that fight. So this is ballooned from 1,500 gold lead to a 3,000 gold lead. And there we go. We got the sparkles.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And here, hey guys, welcome to Cringe Time with Tico and Out. So that was a lot of damage on that mid lane. But of course, this, one of the issues you have to realize whenever you're dealing with the Ziggs is Ziggs' pushing potential is insane. His satchel charge does so much damage to those towers. Of course, we do have a double phage from the Nasus guys, so,
Yes.
and he's left base with it. He's left base with
And
it. So,
2 daggers. And 2 daggers.
2 daggers. So he's going for the Stinger. This, the new
That's into Triforce, but why fit 2 phages?
might be going for the Black Cleaver as well. I'm not sure. It's a quite an interesting one. It might be going for like a Starix gauge of sorts, or the Starix gauge build out of phage, or
Maybe he's doing a sort of Draven thing where you build all BFs and then you build them into items. So how many items does Phage build into?
I do believe it's
Just 2, Black Cleaver and Triforce, right?
yeah. I don't think it built into Starix.
Oh, they try something on Sona. She dashes again. SD4. The hook doesn't land as much. They didn't do so well in that one.
Yes, but of course they did bully them off the farm, and now they have this entire wave just harass free, and they did chunk the Sona down as well. So this does mean that it does mean that they do get lane priority, which they already had, and they've got a nice 30 CS lead on their Aurelia over the Jinx, and this Aurelia already has a Triforce. This Aurelia is massive right now, and he's literally got a 2,000 gold, almost a 2,000 gold advantage, 1,800 gold advantage. That is half a full item, at least. And the Jinx just sitting on a BF sword and some brawlers.
Oh, the binding does hit. Highlander has been used, and he barely escapes from that one. Ultimate misses as well. How do you not kill Fax? Sinking Pulse has taken quite a bit of damage. Hydra using that Conqueror to its most fullest potential. Ultimate misses coming out from Prying, but that's going to be insecure onto Sinking Bolts. Down goes the Nessus.
And right there, guys, we have noticed that facts are there no matter what. You cannot kill them with your fallacies, but these facts are real. These facts are what are going to happen. But he has actually died once.
Yeah, he's
but,
died once.
Oh, it's relevant to the previous fight.
Oh, that hook, the death sentence just barely misses that one.
And of course, there's the actual red buff steal by the enemy jungler instead of being taken by your mid laner. So it's right there. We do have a good counter jungling. We do have it looks to be a teleport from the Nas just to try and like beat. He has sold his phage for a Sheen, so he's realized the mistake there. So it's good to know that he's lost a bit of gold from that, probably about 400 to 500 gold from that mistake. But of course, Nasus does outscale, and we have seen Nasus being able to do the 1v1 quite well. And I do believe he's sitting at about 120, 130 stacks right now. So he's slowly stacking that up consistently at about 10 stacks per minute after that initial initial issue early in the early laning phase. But of course, it does look like the Gnar can't really do much to him in these short little skirmishes.
Currently, Hydra can't do anything. Wither does slow him. Nasa's Siphoning Strike does do quite a bit of damage, and unfortunately, Hydra just doesn't have anything to deal with it. He's got a Phage, and he's got a Kindle Gem, but compare that to the Nasus. That's a Phage, a Sheen, 2 daggers, and a boot and boots. This is not a lane you want to be in as a Gnar right now. CS difference is not as big as, you'd want to be, but still, it's still a decent gap between the two top laners.
Yep, 400 gold difference, but that comes out in the mistake that the Nasus had on the Phage. But still, the Nasus is going to scale better in the split push, and the Gnar isn't really going to be able to handle the Nasus when it gets to a certain point. And the entire point of the Conqueror is to disallow the need for something like a Black Cleaver. So I do believe the Conqueror might be a suboptimal rune choice in this particular with this particular champion.
Oh, ultimate doesn't hit a wall. He's coming out of Mega Gnar form. Now he's just looking down to chase him. Sinking doesn't have ulti. One more auto attack. Hydra, no!
And Hydra, all hell Hydra, the man who almost kills Stinking Bolts, but Stinking Bolts just is able to get away. And of course, this does mean that it's, that was a bit of a cheeky kind of clear, if you see. The Gragas is sitting in that bush with a ward, but of course, you see how he went out of vision of the ward and then they really cleared it. So they don't know where he is, and that was an insane barrier from the Ziggs right there, keeping himself alive.
Bolts, well done. Another barely escaped from the mid laner. Happened once with Fax, gonna happen again with Bolts. They are pushing down the spot lane hard, and Portside can't do anything to deal with it right now.
So this is a 6,000 gold lead, but of course, Gnar is low in a 2v1.
Hydra withered, and those Fax, those auto attacks coming out from him, 2 longswords, that's just dangerous.
These Fax don't lie, and Fax just said, "You are dead, my friend." But of course, it does look like the Gragas has tried to go for a sneaky dive, but has been caught out on a ward. So they might still be going for it, though.
They should be able to take this. They should be able to take this turret easily.
Easily, yes.
Yeah.
And with that,
Never mind.
Okay, looks like they're gonna go for it with the next wave, but that's fine too. It does mean that they do have a 2-tower advantage. That is probably about a 6,000 or 7,000 gold advantage now. 6,000 gold. But of course the Nasus.
Oh, the death sentence hits. The flame does as well, hitting him back into the box, and that was a really good combo. And Hydra is trying to push Sinking Bolts away. He tries to back him away. Ultimate has been used. Sinking Bolts trying to trade it out. Siphoning Strike is coming up. So is Mega Gnar. Into the wall he goes. Sinking Bolts, you're going down just like the Titanic, sunken from the iceberg. I don't know where that came from, but down goes Nasus.
Oh, once again, we are hailing Hydra. This time he's able to seal the deal on the Nasus in the 1v1. We do have the Nasus going down. Nasus does have Triforce, so that was really good from Gnar, being able to get that early damage so we could actually win that trade. Of course, the Nasus tried to turn around, did a really decent job, but unfortunately he wasn't able to get the tower. Lux able to get the tower.
Oh!
My God!
Rookie! Getting a huge combo off of both ball laners, managing to secure the AD carry. Prying squares is not going to survive that.
And of course, that was a heal burnt as well, just to keep the Sona alive. And so, this is huge. The 3 towers up. The only thing they've lost so far is this Infernal Drake. Baron is up now, and with the recent Baron, nerfs to his damage when you're trying to take him, it's actually easier to take him. They have pressure in all lanes except maybe the top lane where the Nasus can 1v1 the Gnar. But even then, it's a bit on shaky ground because Gnar has shown that he has damage, that he actually can do work. So it's a question of where they go from now. Portside are definitely not doing well, and Northern Adelaide are just consistently pushing up, and they might just go for a dive here.
Prying square, taking a bit of damage. Highlander has been used. Alpha Strike as well. Hook landing onto the AD carry. Not someone that wants to take this, but down goes the, I would say, substitute AD carry, Irelia. Hutch is going to go down as well. The skirmish up in the top lane. Ultimate has been used by Sinking Bolts. Knocked back into the wall, but just not going to be able to hit that one. Ultimate from Lux as well. Not going to be able to kill anyone there. Hydra's going to have to back away from this one. Nasus is just too big, literally and figuratively.
And with his ultimate, the Fury of the Sands, he's able to grow in size drastically. And so, you may see Meganar as big, but you have not seen Nasus when he's big. This Sculler turned absolutely massive dog in the Summoner's Rift is just huge. And he is able to finally get that tower in the top lane.
Oh,
that's a sign for small mercies.
Rookie. You could have gotten a combo off there. Does he have his ulti? Yeah, he does.
Bit late in the ult there, mate.
Oh. SD4.
SD4, you are taking a beating, my friend. But of course, the Ziggs is, aside from losing the lane, losing pressure in the mid lane and with his tower, he's actually been doing quite decent. He hasn't died yet. He's able to do a lot of damage, and the Yi has gone for the Essence Reaver.
Yes. Now, Prying Square has gone for the Runan's Hurricane as well. This is a standard start that we see from Jinx. It's just a bit late. 22 minutes in, he's only got a Runan's and a BF. Yeah, you're not supposed to be at this position.
22 minutes in, you want to stop you finishing your second item. But of course, with how BF Sword is built nowadays, you need 1,300 gold just for the components and 1,100 then to finish them together. And so that is a huge gold investment. I believe that's about 3,600 gold, 3,700 gold actually. So this does mean that they have complete pressure and they need to get the Jinx online. Jinx gets online around 2 to 3 items. But of course, they just put him in top lane to try and get some farm under his belt. But he's still a fair way off. He needs another 600, 700 gold before he can back, so he can get the next BF Sword. Not finish his second item, but get his BF Sword. And this is not a place you want to be. This is definitely not a place you want to be. You're relying on a Nasus for any kind of split push pressure, and your team is just losing in most team fights except for lucky catches, because you don't have a reliable form of engage except for the Sona ult.
Yeah, and it looks like Hydra is going to be left alone up in this top side. Never mind, just as I say that, we have both the jungler and the top laner going up there, maybe to go for a little bit of a pincer movement.
But of course, you've left Aurelia down here who might just be able to get this, no, we have the Ziggs ultimate.
Oh, Hydra is going to get dumpstered on by this too. He goes into Meganar, but that's just not going to be enough to keep him alive. Fax picks up the kill down in bot lane. Prying Squares picks up one onto Aurelia. It's now a 5v3. Yi gets hooked in. Death sentence. In comes the ultimate by Lucky Rookie. That's going to be a 3v3 in mid lane right now.
And right there we see a Yi caught out of position, and just Hutch has been an absolute beast with these hooks. They've dominated the lane. They've been able to get the picks they need. He currently has been involved in 7 of the 10 kills for his team. That's a 70% kill participation, and that is quite decent. Of course, it does appear that they're actually, if you look at the items for both sides, the Portside has actually not even picked up a sweeper yet. Whereas we have 2 sweepers for Vision Denial on the side of Northern Adelaide. So this is quite an interesting kind of strategy going in.
Yeah, look at the vision control that Northern Adelaide have. They have vision all throughout the topside jungle. Never mind, we'll come back to that later. Sinking Bolts, ultimate misses from Rhaegar, and he's going to be able to escape from this one using the Blasting Cone to get over. But going back to the vision, look at the control they have in the topside jungle. They have total control, and they're prepping for this Baron. They have control wards up in the topside at the red buff. They have total control around the Baron pit as well as in it. They send a blind rocket in towards the Baron pit, but there's no one doing it. That's how much vision they have around it.
So they are completely lacking in vision. They aren't able to keep up with Northern Adelaide, which can be hard when you're consistently pushed in. You've lost all 3 outer turrets. Your line is absolutely smashed. You've almost lost your bottom tower as well. It's very difficult. You've even had to waste the Ziggs ultimate, I believe, just to try and clear that bottom wave out so that they don't have pressure to be able to push for that objective. So this is quite problematic for that team in general.
Yeah, and it looks like Prying Squares is going to go for the Infinity Edge second. Now, we do know that Runan's Hurricane gives a little bit of crit, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Rhaegar is going in. Sinking Bolts, you're just stacked way high. The flash coming out from Rhaegar as well, running for his life. Trying to get the stun on does, as Sinking Bolts is forced to back away from this one. Fax, however, in this top side, Meganar coming out. The hook does land. The flay as well. The binding, the ultimate, and then it just launches himself back into the team. Ultimate is being able to pick up that one. That was just a misplay by Bolt. The flash flay coming out from Butch. He's trying to dish out a bit of damage alongside the Gragas. They're going to have to back away from this one. Their mid laner is a bit low.
But of course, you have the Nasus is able to 1v1 anyone at this point. Even the Aurelia, who's an absolute beast, he's able to 1v1 him under tower right now. And there is a solo kill from the Nasus. That is absolute insanity. Stinking Bolt is literally just saying, hey guys, I've got a really big backpack. Just rely on the split push. And here we're getting to that point in the team where Portside do have that comp we were worried about.
Oh, Hydra, Meganar, you need it. Oh, he does not get to it. Sinking Bolt, he's going to be able to pick up this turret as well. Gragas can't do anything about it to stop that. Fax and Sinking Bolts, they're coming online now.
And here's what we were talking about before the game. We got the Nasus, we got the Yi. These are two powerful split pushers, okay? And as you saw just said, neither the Gnar nor the Aurelia can deal with them. And so this means that they are always going to have side, split push pressure going. And with the Jinx now finally getting the Infinity Edge, this game, it's Portside's back in this. They may just be able to come back, and with only a 3,000 gold deficit, where about 5-10 minutes ago it was almost 8,000 gold difference. This is massive. This could just be the turning point where Portside start coming back and decimating.
Yeah, they do have a scaling comp, and as I've seen before, I've witnessed it before. This Bruiser bot lane, it only works during the laning phase. When you come to team fights, you need that AD carry with 3 items to be able to dish out damage. Binding does land onto Nasus, but right now, Loki isn't dealing enough damage to help the rest of the team. He has low cooldowns, but it's not going to be enough. Death Sentence does land on Nasus. Nasus is way too tanky for this one.
And as we said before, like with the AD carry, as you said, it scales better. And then you look at the entire team code. Gnar into Nasus, Nasus scales. Ziggs into Lux, the Ziggs outscales. Jinx into Aurelia, obviously the Jinx is going to outscale. As long as you can keep the Aurelia off the Jinx, you're fine. Yi into Gragas, Yi's just an absolutely dominant force in any kind of scaling matchup. His only weakness is well, when he gets CC'd, but of course Yi is hard split pushing up in top lane with the Gnar matching the TP.
Oh, wow. He does destroy the turret, but Sona gets caught out as well. The Yi is going hard onto Hydra. Miss Flash coming out from Hydra as well. He goes down as Fax picks up another one to his name.
And right there, the Yi still has a massive wave and is still very healthy. He's only missing the ultimate. He still does have his summoner spells, so he may just be going for this inhibitor tower, which with this massive wave might just be possible, even with everyone just closing in on him.
Winces would help a lot. Ultimate does hit on Fax. He uses Alpha Strike. He's not going to be able to escape from this one, but he's boxed in. He doesn't proc it, but he still goes down.
And without the Gwinsus, he doesn't have as much damage as
he
would expect. Lucky rookie. Well, Rocky. Rookie is that was pretty fitting, to be honest. So, but of course, that is the mid tower going down, and here we do have them starting to come back. The gold is almost equalized. The Nasus is pushing in. This game has completely turned on its head.
And this is the tale of a lifetime. We do have Nasus being able to pick up down a second tier turret. Should be able to 2v1 this one as well. The Siphoning Strike is going to be able to do this, but the 3v1 is just unfair. Come on. Give him a little bit of slack.
Right now, oh my god, the failed flash.
Oh.
And there we have it. We have the wall flash, but of course, during that time, the dragon was able to be taken. So this is, if they lose one man, then they take the dragon. And they've also got a 2-turret lead now. Literally, Northern Adelaide have not been able to take a single objective since they took those 3 towers and the Ocean Drake. They have lost 5 towers and another Ocean Drake. So this is definitely looking bad for Northern Adelaide because they don't have that scaling comp. And Portside, they're practically equal. They have a turret advantage, and their Jinx is starting to come online. He's got his Zeal item, so he's now sitting at somewhere close to 80% crit. And this is huge.
We do have the Nasus with the
Catalyst of Eons and the Blasting Wand. So with the Nasus, that the only thing that we can think of that builds into is the Rod of Ages, which is a good scaling item, but I'm not sure how I feel about this.
It's very different. He's gonna go ham. He has the siphoning strike ready to go, but they're gonna be able to hold this mid lane, even to push it out. This is a weird build, but it seems to be working quite well as he can 2v1 a lot of this team.
I think he can more 2v1 because he's a Nasus. So he does have the Frozen Heart, which decreases their attack speed when they're attacking him. And he has a lot of armor from that.
Oh, the flash ultimate coming out from Sona. Zig's ultimate does not hit as a really good Zonie's Hourglass coming out from Rocky, and a combo misses from him as well. They have failed the engage, but it's still going to be able to put him in their favor.
Exactly. But that was a flash burn from the Sona and the exhaust. But of course, it does look like the Nasus is split pushing with a spare with the TP. So he's actually used the TP just to cast the wave. So now he's not there for Baron. So the rest of the team is lining up for it, but they can't actually do it because they'd be in a 4v5 as they went for it.
Oh, Alpha Strike is being used by Fax. He's going to get caught out by the slow on Gragas. Ultimate has been used by Rhaegar as well. The ultimate from Lux as well. Fax is going to have to Alpha Strike his way out of this one. He will eventually. He's going to get stunned by Rhaegar. He's going to go down as well. Bolts is picking up kill after kill. Flashes forward for that one. He tries to kill Lucky. One more auto attack. No, he uses a Q to get a double kill onto that one. Nasus is still split pushing down his ball lane, and they can't do anything about it to stop.
And right now, they only lost the Master Yi for 3 members. They took down Hydra, Lucky Rocky, and Rhaegar. They're 3 of the main carries. And we just got 2 tanks who have a lot of utility left, and you got 2 you do have the Death Sentence being missed as well, and Nasus is on the inhibitor tower.
He is pushing this hard. He knows that they aren't coming to him anytime soon. They've got 10 seconds on the Hydra, and Hydra, he's not going to be able to stop Nasus anyway. They're sending the support to deal with him while the rest of the team is going for the second tier chart in mid lane, and Gragas can't stop anything versus a 3v1. Sinking Bolts is going to get Death Sentence. He's probably going to use a Siphoning Strike to last hit that inhibitor. Use the ultimate on Hutch. Withers him as well. I'm not sure he's going to be able to take Rhaegar or the rest of the team as it's a 4v1. However, they're going to be able to take the second tier tart in mid lane. Well played by the Nasus.
So they're able to get 2 towers. They're able to get an inhibitor, and they're able to pick up so many kills for the cost of just the Nasus and the Yi earlier. And for the first time in this game, they have a 3,000 gold lead. And of course, the Nasus decided, you know what? I'm almost Flame Horizon the Nara. Let's build a Rod of Age and celebrate. But we do have a Yi. Instead of going for the Gwyn suits, he has gone for the Storm Razors. So what this is going to do is instead of having a lot more sustained damage, he's going to have a lot more initial damage. And it's going to give him a lot more base AD and attack speed as well, which can be great, especially because he's running the lethal tempo. So he can get all his, so he can get his alpha strikes up all the time, especially with the Essence Reaver and when his ultimate is active, because he just autos for days and will do a ton of damage when he first gets in. So I'm going to see some one-shots by Yi, followed up by some pretty interesting team fights from the Yi. So,
Highlander has been used by Fax as well. He uses the Smite on a Hydra, picks up that one fairly easily. As Fax, he may be looking for more. Nope, he's just going for the blue buff. Alpha Strike hits Hutch, however, gets a bit of damage. Death Sentence barely misses that one as Fax is going to be able to escape from that one with the blue buff. And Locky doesn't have blue buff with him, so that's going to be sustained damage from Locky taken away. And unfortunately, we still have the Nasus down bot side. Doesn't have TP, but Hydra does. He's dead. I'm not sure how they're going to deal with this one.
well, they've got the top tower. In that time, they've been able to get the top tower, top inhibitor tower. So there's an open inhibitor in the top lane.
Ultimate has been used by Sona. Box as well. A good flay from Fresh flashes over for that one. Fax is around the back. The rocket does hit, but Fax picks up the kill before then. Rhaegar coming around from the back. Sterk's Gauge has been procced, but Rhaegar just does not have any sustain to stop any of that. Nasus still pushing down this bot side turret. They're going to start on this Baron, and there's nothing Lux can do about it except hope for a good ulti. Unfortunately, doesn't have an ulti on him, so he's going to have to back away from this, maybe throw out a binding. Yeah, of course, throw out a binding he does, but he doesn't able, he's not going to be able to pick that one up. Bolt is going to push him back. Binding does proc as Hydra tries to get as much damage. He does pick up one onto Zig, but Nasus is going for these Nexus turrets. Fax is going ham as they pick up 1 for 4. Sinking Bolts is going alone on this one. Gragas can't do anything to stop him. He's got super minions with him. The rest of the team is not with him. Will they be able to finish this? Sinking Bolts. Oh! What? The minions! How much is this on?
Oh my god.
It's on 100, 200 HP. They have been able to stay in this one. Almost. We have GG, well played from Sona. Never mind. As they barely keep that Nexus alive. A little glimmer of hope is still standing.
But of course, Nasus does have the TP, but I don't think he dropped a ward before he died. So he is actually not able to properly backdoor. But no, that is a blue ward, unfortunately. We were looking at like where the wards were. But of course, we do have 3 red wards near the Dragon Pit from red side. So I think that was a bit of a victory celebration. But it's the game's not over yet. But they have the Baron, they have the Elder Drake on everyone but the Nasus. They have an open Nexus. They have an open inhibitor in the top lane. And this may just be the game-ending team fight.
Oh, Nasus says you got lucky. Lethal Tempo has been used. Fax is going ham. He's not going to stop there as he goes for Rhaegar. He's taken down very quickly. No, he's not. Rhaegar picks up one of those. He tries to go for another, but he doesn't pick up that one. Hutch goes in on the death sentence. Prying, he is online now. Sinking Bolt finishes it off with the last siphoning strike. Extra 50 gold. And they finally end the game.
Thank you guys, and once, just as a recap, Portside Christian College have made an amazing come-from-behind victory with the split push comp, so much pressure involved. And so they have actually been able to win this game against Northern Adelaide Senior College. They have had, it looks like the NAS is going for Leandri's Torment next. So very interesting choice from the Nasus, but once again, it worked for them, so why the hell not? And it's massive shout out to Portside Christian College. See guys, in your solo queue games, you may be behind, but you are not out of this game. So, yep. So the next game will be at 7 o'clock. It will be hosted by, I believe, Iatos and Mr. Encryption. So we will. So it's a goodbye from us as we wait for the next game to start. But guys, stay tuned. In 40 minutes, the next game will happen. And guys, what a game that was.
That was amazing, and I just want to say thank you to HSEL again for putting this up there. We will be back, as you said, at 7 o'clock for Australian Eastern Standard Time. That's, as you said, 27 minutes away from now. Be ready for that one. Stay tuned. Thank you.